Now, understandably, the trial and verdict drawing emotions from the families of the victims and everyone in the Oxford community by that school shooting back in 2021.
Yes, both can also have an emotional impact on anyone watching or following the case since the very beginning. And joining us with ways to manage any stress or trauma is the head of the Oakland County Health Network. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this is Dr. Pozios. Doctor, we've talked a lot about mental health during the course of this trial. Now we have to talk about it for the community and those that have been watching this so closely. What's your advice?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me this morning. So obviously, it's been a very upsetting series of events and for many, truly traumatic. I think what's most important to remember, though, is that it's normal to experience kind of a roller coaster of emotions in response to something like this. Also, if you have children, it can be very difficult for them as well. And so a lot of people are struggling to, figure out how do they talk to their kids about this? How do they manage their own emotions? And just want to remind folks that, again, it's normal to experience upsetting emotions. It's important to, of course, acknowledge what happened in an age-appropriate way, of course, with your children. Discuss if they're ready to, how your children feel about what happened, and certainly recognize that this has been a very difficult experience, especially for school-age children who might identify with the Oxford victims.
Doctor, you talked a lot about, acknowledging, with the children. There's so many just different age ranges, though, because we have, going back to when it happened, small elementary school students who were affected, who were family members or went through the trauma of the lockdowns and now watching this play out over and over again. How do you understand how to work with your child depending on how old they are?
Sure. I think for the youngest children, the most important thing is to just let them know that they're safe, that they're loved, and that try to recognize maybe some positive things that might have come out of the tragedy. For example, the community coming together in response to the tragedy. For older children, I think that you can certainly ask them what their feelings are about the incident, what their concerns are, what their fears are, and have more of a reciprocal conversation with them.
And you're talking about this being normal, to have a normal emotional reaction, maybe an ongoing reaction or triggers. But how do you know with your children, or with adults for that matter, when it's a little bit beyond normal and there should be some intervention, or what resources are out there to determine that?
Sure. So you want to keep an eye out for things like sleep interruption. If you're going for days with interrupted sleep, if your appetite is changing, if you start to lose interest in things that you normally enjoy doing, if your friends, coworkers, family around you start to notice that you're acting differently and tell you that, that's something to keep in mind. And of course, if you ever have thoughts that life isn't worth living, or thoughts about wanting to end your life, that certainly is time to seek professional help. And the way to do that in Oakland County and really anywhere in Metro Detroit is to call 988. It's a 24/7 emergency line for mental health crisis. But also, if you're in Oakland County, you can call OCHN's Non-Emergency Behavioral Health Access Department at 248-464-6363. Monday through Friday from 8 to 8.
Doctor, quickly, before we let you go, this is just one trial of two. What is your advice for those trying to balance staying informed and up to date while watching this, which could be triggering to many people?
Yeah, it can be difficult, and this has been drawing on for years now, but especially now. You just need to stay informed, but take a break from the news coverage, no offense, from social media especially, and just make sure that this isn't the only information that you're consuming, because that can really start to have a negative impact.
Gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
Dr. Pozios, we certainly appreciate you joining us this morning with those helpful tips and also resources there in Oakland County. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.